and they hit the submit button, a email goes to you, and also an email will go to them. Okay, what you'll need for this is an internet connection so you can get to mooseloose.com. You'll need an email set up. In my email program, I have a receiver, which will be who gets the email that somebody submits, and sender, which will be the email for our test purposes. You'll also need Dreamweaver or any kind of HTML text editor. You'll need some kind of FTP client like FileZilla, and you'll need a place on the internet to place these forms. So let's begin. First thing we're going to do is go to MooseLoose, go down to Miscellaneous and Forms, and click Email Form Generator. And what this does is you just fill out this form, send submission to, this would be your email, but I'm going to put 0receiver@mooseloose.com. That's where the email is going to go to when somebody completes the form. The subject will be, let's say, message from mooseloose.com. Then the thanks message is what people will see once they complete the form and submit it. We'll just say, thanks for your submission, we'll get back to you soon. And your website will be mooseloose.com or whatever site, and that will identify the site where they filled out the form. So you get code. Now notice that this form has to be called thankyou.php, this file. And so copy all the code that is generated for you. Go to Dreamweaver, open up a new file. It can be whatever, because you are just going to copy everything that Dreamweaver gives you and paste that code and save it as what? We're going to save it in a folder, and we're going to call it thankyou.php. That's what it has to be called. No spaces, no special characters, no capitalization. So save that. Okay, now let's create our form. Let's go back to MooseLoose, go to Miscellaneous, go down to Forms and Form Field Generator. Okay, now the first thing we want to do is scroll down and get the code that will be the foundation for our form. Notice it has some styling to it, which you of course can change. I'm going to copy this, go to Dreamweaver, and open a new file. HTML is fine. Highlight everything that Dreamweaver gives you, and then just hit Command V or paste, and there it is. Now you'll notice that on this particular form or file, there is a place called Start Pasting Here. As you create your form fields, that's where you're going to begin to paste them. Here are all the styles that you can change if you don't like the ones that are there for you. Okay, so let's save this. File, save as, and we'll call it index.html. Oops. Alright, save. So now we have an index and a thank you. Notice real close that in the index.html there is a form action. In this form action it says thankyou.php. When somebody clicks the submit button, which is right here, it will jump, this file will jump to thankyou.php, where the information will be processed. Notice that the 2 is to receiver mooseloose.com. Here's the message. Here's the message that you're going to receive, and here is the email that will go to the person who filled it out. Since we're going to have an email variable, Let's just get rid of this right now before we forget. So that's what's going to happen. They're going to fill out the form on index.html. It's going to go to thankyou.php, where the process is going to take place, where one email will be sent to you and one email will be sent to them. Okay, I'm going to save both of those. Now let's go back to our Moose Loose form field creator. Let's collect their name. So here's name. That's the field name, and the label that they are going to see will be, well, let's call it your name. Okay. The field name cannot have any spaces or special characters. The field label is what human eyes are going to see, and so you can have spaces or special characters. And then what kind of field type is it going to be? It's going to be a text box. That is a single line box where they can fill in their information. Okay, let me get code. Now there's all kinds of code that is created here for you. Notice that the top part says in the form. That is in your HTML. So I'm going to copy this, go to Dreamweaver, go to my form, and where it says begin pasting here, that's where I'm going to paste it. Now if I was to save that and look at it in Firefox, you can see immediately that you have a text line, a text box with the label and the submit button. So that's what we have right now, but that's not all that we need, because we have to go back and prepare our thank you PHP. So we go down to the place where it says in the thank you PHP, you grab the blue code and watch closely where you put it in thank you PHP. Where it says field 01, that's where you're going to put it. Now what that particular code does is when somebody fills out a form, the information that they complete goes into a temporary memory. Now when it jumps to thank you PHP, this code takes it out of the temporary memory and allows you to use it somewhere on this form, on this page. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the red part, and this is how we're going to use what comes out of temporary memory. We're going to go down to the email that will be submitted to you, and field 1, where it says field 01, just paste it on top of there. So what's going to happen is when you get this email, it's going to have a subject from your website so that you don't get it mixed up with all the other junk mail you get. And inside the message body will be information submitted on your website, and the first thing that will come in that message will be whatever they filled out as their name. Okay? So let's go back. Let's go back and let's get their email. So I'm just going to go down and reset. I'm going to put email. Now, in order for that bottom form to work, it has to be capital E mail, just like that. And this is what their eyeballs are going to see, email. And this also will be a text box. So I'm going to get the code. I'm going to take this portion for the form, go to the index, and right under where I pasted the last, notice that every form field begins with a TR and ends with a closing TR. So what I'm going to do is hit a couple returns and paste that. Now let's take a look at that. Let's save it and take a look. And now we have the name and the email. So that's good. That's exactly what we want. Now, in order for that email to send that information that they fill out, you have to go back to Moose Loose, and under Thank You PHP, grab the blue portion. That goes into the thank you at the top. Remember, this is the code that grabs the information out of temporary memory so you can use it on this page. And how are we going to use it? Well, we're going to grab the red portion on Moose Loose and put it in the email portion. So when somebody submits this email is going to go to 0receiver@mooseloose.com, and it's going to supply the name and the email of the person who filled it out. So let's go back and Make sure that we're doing just fine. Here's the index. Here's the field, your name field, the email field. We go to thank you, grabs those two pieces of information from temporary memory and includes it in the message. Okay, I'm going to save both of these. Let's go back to the Moose Loose and let's change up a little bit. I'm going to reset. Let's do, this will be the message. So this is what people are going to fill out as the message to you. Now we don't want a single line box because the message might be long. So we're going to turn this into a text area. Okay? And hit get code, and here is the code created for the text area. So I'm going to go back to my form, which is index.html. I'm going to find the last TR from what I pasted the last time and paste it in there. So now, if we save it, I will view it in Firefox. Now we have a name, email, and a message box, which is a text area. So you can see, unlike a single text box, a text area can hold a lot more multi-line information. So that's what that does. Now I'm going to go back to the Moose Loose and I'm going to get the code that makes this work. So here we go. Copy the blue portion, go to thank you, put that in the top so that it'll get it from whatever they fill in the message, we'll get it from temporary memory. And then let's get the red portion and we'll put that as part of the message that you will receive from this form. So that's how you create a text area. Okay, we took a look. Let's save. And let's go back to Moose Loose. Now, I'm going to reset. Now we're going to make a radio button set. So let's call this, I don't know, gender. Gender. So you're going to get whether they're male or female. Now because there is a choice of one or the other, you can use radio buttons. Radio buttons are form fields where you can only pick one of the series. So let's fill out, now we get choices. We'll put male and we'll put female, or we can put none of your business. Okay, so we're going to have radio buttons. One will be male, the other female, the other one will be none of your business. And so let's get it. Here's the code for the form. Copy it. Remember, each form field begins with a TR and ends in a closing TR. So if we go to the form, find the last TR of the radio buttons, give yourself some space, and paste in your radio buttons. Now let's take a look at this, see how radio buttons look on a form, and there they are. Okay, under gender. Okay, very good. Now, in order for that form to work, let's go to Moose Loose. We'll get the portion that gets the information out of temporary memory, put it in the thank you at the top, and then go back to Moose Loose and get the code that will email it to you and put it in the next slot there. Okay, let's just do one more here. Let's go back to Moose Loose and reset, and let's create a field called movies. We'll ask them what kind of movies you like. Movies you like. And we'll make this a checkbox. Now, a checkbox is really a good thing because it's a form field type that allows them to pick more than one. So we'll call one adventure, we call another one romantic, we call another one mystery. And so they would be able to pick 1, 2, or 3 of these because they're checkboxes. So let's get the code. Here's the code that goes into the form. Remember the beginning TR and the closing TR. So let's go back to index and find our last TR after gender, and let's paste the check boxes in there. Let's take a look, see how our form is shaping up. So now we have text boxes, text areas, we have radio buttons, and as you can see, somebody will be able to check and uncheck more than one. Okay, let's go and get something else here. We have to make, in order for this to work, we have to put this portion, which is a little bit more than we were used to, because it has to get several values from the temporary memory. So we'll copy this, go to our thank you, and paste that in the top with all the other code that grabs things from temporary memory. Okay, and then we want to add this part of the code so that it will be emailed to us. And so let's go back, and down here, right under gender, we will put movies. Movies you like. Okay, and I'm going to save that. Okay, let's do one more. Let's go back here. I'm going to reset, and we're going to make a selection box, and we'll put, I don't know, state. Yeah, that's good. This will ask what state they're from, and we will make it a selection box. So let's put Michigan, we'll put Ohio, we'll put Indiana, let's put Virginia, and more. We could put a whole lot more. Okay, so now it's going to be a form field called state. The label will be, let's just put your state, and then it'll be a selection box, and it'll have 4 states. So let's get a code. Let's get the code. This portion goes into the form. Let's put it in right after movies you like. Let's paste it there, and let's take a look to see what we did. Let's preview in Firefox. So now we have a drop-down box that people can choose from. Okay, now let's go back and get the portion of the code that makes this work. So we have to go to get the blue code, and that'll take whatever state they put out of temporary memory, and let's put it up here. And let's go back and get the portion that puts it in your email. Okay, so we'll go down here. Oh, I put it in the wrong place. Okay, I'm going to put it here, and then I'm going to put that portion that gets it out of temporary memory in the top of the form. Okay, so if we were to look at this now, let's save it and take a look. So now we have a drop-down box, and in our form we have everything that will grab it from temporary memory and create the email. Now we have all these extra form fields that we don't need, so I'm just going to delete those. And now we have our form that will process the information, and we have the form that people will fill out. Now in the next video we will put it up on the server and test it.